Thank you, Pavlos. I hope I will finish in 10 minutes. I have 48 slides, so I'll zip through them very fast. I know there is lunch. I don't want to be staying between you and lunch. But they are just one-liners. So, okay, so I tried to find a title for this. We are undergoing in Aljazeera, and a lot of our media partners also going through major transformation in the age of, didn't find a word for it, and the likes and the social media platforms, basically. This is how people are looking at news right now through social media platforms. So I want to tee up from what Nick has mentioned, which if I want to sum it up in one word, I would say that digital news are really screwed in this media industry right now. I predict that 2018 and 2019 we will see a lot of massacre in the newsrooms, digital native newsrooms. I know BuzzFeed is in talks to spin out their newsroom because it's the least revenue making. So actually newsrooms are shrinking across the world right now, especially digitally focused ones. Okay, so just a quick slide about Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera has about 14 digital media properties. We have 5 TV channels in many languages and about 4,500 staff. We reach about 300 monthly audience. I manage the digital properties. I have nothing to do with the TV. They consider me the Antichrist. I manage about one fourth of the staff is under my digital group. Where should I point? Okay, so I think we must transform. Otherwise, we will really die as a media company. And as a digitally native organization as well. Like Al Jazeera has several products that are completely digitally native, and I'll cover this in the next few slides. But let me ask you a question. Do any of you know what this is? A free lunch on the founder of 24 Media here, if you know what that is. This is actually a cheese slicer that was made in 1901. What does cheese slicer have to do with transformation? So if you look at the label at the bottom here, and if we just zoom a little bit, you see that the word International Business Machine. This was done by IBM in 1901. And this is what we mean by transformation really in the digital industry. We should change that drastically. Otherwise, we'll die. Someone needs to tell me where to point. But so we have many challenges. So in this presentation, I will quickly share with you 7 challenges as we do transformation in Al Jazeera. So what we've done is about a year ago, the board has taken out all the digital properties that traditionally used to belong to TV, part of the TV newsrooms, and we cluster that under one group, which is the digital group right now, and that includes the business, the technology, and the newsrooms. So these are the 3 legs of the digital organization. So the TV audience is aging. CBS median age is 60 years old, the viewers. For CNN, it's 61. For BBC, it's 61. For Fox News, guess? 68. That's the average viewers, median age in Fox News. So what we are facing right now is a big question of how can we reach a group that does not watch TV, always connected, and that's between the age of 16 and 45. Could be younger as well. We found that when we launched our new product in Arabic language on Instagram and Snapchat, average age is 16, which means there are younger than 16 who look at our news as well. So people, young generation, are interested in news. So So I want to share with you how we did that, a quick about the product, and then I will pivot to the challenges. So in September 2014, we decided to go pure digital with the digital products. And we started thinking about this in 2013. So you can imagine when you sit with a group of people, we were 4 people, I took them and we went into a facility that we just acquired in San Francisco, and we said, you know, we want to launch a product that does not exist, that does not have a website. 2013, that was actually considered crazy. And so in a span of a couple of years, we have now about 700 million monthly views. We have, last week only we had 61 million minutes viewed across the platforms. And we are considered the #3 news publisher on Facebook. And yes, we've been affected by the latest changes that Facebook has done. But we're trying, I think it's been only a couple of weeks. We're still waiting for a few months to really see the pattern and put the proper strategy. We are the 5th most watched video channel on Facebook globally. And so the average age group is about 42, but if you see me sitting like right in the middle right there, if you remove me, the age group will drop, the age will drop to 27. So, you know, the audience is really, the newsroom is representative of the audience that we're targeting. And I want to emphasize here that doesn't mean targeting millennials, doesn't mean that it is actually, you know, superficial news. It is really and truly true journalism. We won the Online Journalism Award, and we tied that year in 2016 with the New York Times. Asia Plus exists in many languages, in English, Spanish, and Arabic, and French. And we have a few other products I can discuss with whoever is interested that are coming in the pipeline, and some we've launched already in podcasting and virtual reality that are targeting millennials as well. So there are 7 challenges that I would like to share with you quickly. The first challenge is public trust, as Nick has mentioned, in media. Is at all-time low. He showed 38% based on their numbers. The numbers that I got are 32 within the margin of error. But the point taken here is that the trust is really, really low. Audience is information rich. There is a deluge of information out there. And in 10 seconds, there are 6,000 minutes of uploaded new content on YouTube and 13,000 hours of videos watched on Facebook. So you can imagine it is really, really hard to stand out from the crowd as a digital media organization because you have significant amount of information that's out there, and coupled to that the audience is attention poor. So they are information rich and attention poor. There is a nice experiment that Microsoft, I guess it was Microsoft, did back in 2014, but there was a research that was published 2000 that says that the attention span is was 12 seconds. Microsoft did that same exercise in 2014. What they've done is they fixed wires on people and see where their eyeballs are going, and they realized that came to the conclusion that the attention span is 8 seconds in 2014. Meaning if you don't get the attention of your target audience in the first 8 seconds in the content you provide, that will go away. Most of the news websites, their average, like you have between 50 and 55% of the audience leave the websites in the first 10 seconds. So this is significant, and we have to do something about it, which, by the way, makes us a little less than actually the goldfish, which has an attention span of 9 seconds. And don't ask me how they measured that, actually. I can't find it, but I got that information. So the fourth challenge is the audience is really fragmented, and that creates, from a business point of view, a scaling problem. Let me show you how. So you have many, many social media platforms. You, as a person, like, trying to put a strategy into where you should exist, it's a tough question to ask, and the decision is very hard. And even if you decide, you have Facebook talking to you because they have the Facebook Watch. You have Twitter talking to you because they have the Twitter Moment. You have Snapchat with Snapchat Discover, and shows you everyone is trying to talk to you as a publisher and content provider, trying to partner with them in the launch of new product. So they're all going through the same competition. From a staffing point of view, that makes it a big challenge. So in Asia Plus, for example, you could see that you have 4 sections of groups or skill sets that you need. You need editorial, you need the creative people, you need the data analyst, and you need the engagement team, right? How to split that between platforms, because the video and the content you create on Facebook will be successful on Facebook, not necessarily will be successful on Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat. So you have to create content that is specific for every platform. So what you end up with is cutting and dividing the teams according to the platform. Right? This works well when you have 4, but when you have 5, it's going to be crazy. You cannot scale that. And the revenue that's coming from digital, as I will show you, is not really cutting it. The 5th challenge is democratization of content gave rise to micro-influencers. And these are influencers who are famous and popular in their own communities. And Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are famous, and, and Snapchat have so many of those. The reason is in the traditional content production ecosystem, you have the creators who go to production companies, and then when you have a production, you go and distribute it to channels, give it to channels, and channels use distributing pipes like Comcast in the US or any provider, and then you have devices, and then you broadcast it to devices, and then you have the audiences by household. In the digital world, the model is a little different, actually is a lot different, and that's what created the problem. You have creators, and the creators themselves are the ones who are producing the content. And they do not need the channels for that. They go to the distribution channels like the social media platforms directly, and who know how to push content to devices, and then you have the audience, individuals, right? And if we even do that ourselves, social media platforms will never allow us to have access to content and some intelligence and insights about the visitors to our pages on their platforms. Like Facebook will give you aggregate content analytics, but will never give you individuals and the individual habit so you can customize the content. So that would take me to the 6th challenge, which is the current business model is not working for us. Nick has actually indicated this, but I have a number here that says 61%, the one on the left here, 61% of the online advertising globally is taken by Facebook and Google. The remaining 39% is distributed to the 1.3 billion websites that are out there. And by the way, this includes Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram, which means the rest of us takes the breadcrumb. So this is not a workable business model. That led even to Rupert Murdoch one day, recently, a couple of weeks ago, saying that it is time for Facebook to pay for publishers, same way like the cable companies pay affiliate fees. Social platforms are not our friends, I would say, from this model. And they're not our enemies either. I like to put them like in the frenemy kind of corner, right? It's like you can't get rid of them, but you have to actually be partnering with them. And this is actually has been working, but also when you have sudden changes like what Facebook did, makes it very, very hard for us to put a strategy. It makes us more tactical rather than strategic in our decision making. The last challenge I'm having here is you can't build loyalty on social platforms. You can never build loyalty on social platforms. Actually, a good example is what we see on our website, on our presence on Facebook pages. Most of the audience see the content that we publish on the news feed. They don't come to our website, which means if it doesn't exist, they will not go and look for it. So it is not a platform really to build loyalty. And this is a good example here from one of our platforms, and I'm not going to tell you which one, but it's one of our presence online. And the dark color here is the paid content, right? The light one is the unpaid. And we made this experiment to exactly make that point clear. As you could see here, no matter how much money you spend, the light color here doesn't increase. The organic growth never increases. So your audience, overall, you're not gaining benefit. You get like a, it's like the drug shot, the heroin thing. You get instant, instant happiness, and after that it goes away. That's exactly what happens when you actually continue to feed the beast of the social media platforms. So where do we go from here? And this is my last slide, actually. Okay, so these are 5 strategic decisions that we're doing, and several of our colleagues that we discussed with in my meetings, whether in Europe or in the US. We have to leap from reporting news to informing audience. And what does that mean? It means you have to know more about your audience. You have to know more. When you have a conversation with someone, you have to know who you're talking to. You have to have more intelligence about the person you're talking to so you can give them the right information. So we have to think of not reporting, but having a conversation. And I think this is one of the slides that Nick actually has presented. Never forget your platform. You have to have a home for the audience to go to, which means that puts a lot of pressure on having an information-rich and feature-rich platform that engages your audience. Audience loyalty, in my view, is going to be the next currency. It's not views anymore. And Mike Zuckerberg has already mentioned that implicitly in his last post before making the changes in his algorithm. He said, we're not interested in sitting on a couch and people kind of flipping through the content. We want engaging content. He is pivoting and gradually will pivot towards more getting revenue based on engagement. Advertising will be based on engagement, not views. And we have to explore the micro-influencer world. We have a project that we invested significantly in that, and micro-influencers and micro-payment business. I don't think that the paywall will be successful. I think it is because of the current political situation in Europe and in the United States specifically. I think after that, it will dwindle down again. It will go back where. And so I think micropayment and diversifying revenue streams through native advertising and other revenue streams will be important. AI and IoT will be extremely important for the next 10 years for us. And if we don't begin to tinker with this technology, I think we'll get lost. And one example is I see that the driverless car is not a driverless car, it's not autonomous car only, it's an entertainment center. You have people sitting in a car who are not paying attention to the road, and they need to be informed. What are we going to do there? And this is kind of things that we have to begin to tinker with and prepare for the next few years. With that, I end my talk. Thank you very much.